Welcome to my craft room. Hey, I've got another pop-up card and I think it's a lot of fun. Of course, you can change these colors to match whoever you're giving it to, more masculine, more feminine. I decided to just do the bright colors because they're fun too. So first, make a wish. And then it's small, but it is mighty. And you get this big, giant happy birthday popping out of the middle. So now, before we start, I need you to go down into the description. I need you to click on the Cricut link that is there. That will give you the base of this card, and Cricut will put it onto your canvas so you'll be ready to go. Okay, so let's go make it. Okay, here is our card base. If you do not have this on your canvas, then you need to go down in the description, click on the Cricut link there, and Cricut will put the card base, this right here, onto your canvas. Now, this card is going to be a little bit different. Normally, you have this base, and you have these 4 panels that you will do and then put on the base. But we're not going to do that this time. So you're not going to need any of these, and we are going to delete them. You are going to need everything else. Here's your envelope. This is small enough that you can make it out of a regular sheet of copy paper if you want, and I am going to move it out of the way. So this right here, we're going to change the colors. If it has a score or a pen mark on it, you can only change colors in layers. So you're going to go down, you're going to highlight this square. You're going to go to edit, over here to the colors, and we'll do the dark red. It doesn't matter which one, as long as they're all the same red. Okay, this guy, again, we're going to highlight just the square. He is going to be the middle green, and I know this looks very Christmassy right now, but it won't once we're done. Now, all of these are also going to be the green, so you can grab all 3 of those. And go to edit and color and green. Like I said, it looks very Christmassy right now. It won't. Okay, I'm going to move this stuff out of our way because now we need to go get some images. So you are going to click down here in the bottom on images. If you have never searched an image by the code number, then everything starts with a hashtag M. Okay, so let's do the cupcake. 3A845C A0. You're going to type that in. There's your cupcake. You're going to click on it. It's going to put it down here to add. You will see that I added all of your other images. If you will go ahead and grab all of those, get them put on your canvas. After you get them all added here to the bottom, you can hit the little add button and we'll get everything ready to cut out. Okay, now we've got everything on our canvas. Let's do the cover first. Okay, we're going to do sizes real fast, and then we'll go back and change all the colors. So on the cupcake, it is going to be 2.25 high, 2.25 inches high. You're going to go to edit. You're going to go to height, 2.25. Oh, guess what I just did? And I'm going to leave this in here just to show you. Do you see this lock button in between the sizes? I had it unlocked, but I want to keep it aspect, so I'm going to lock it back and do it again. There we go, 2.25 high. Okay, our ribbon is 2.5 wide. Sometimes we're going to do width, sometimes we're going to do height. There we go. The happy birthday is going to be 8 inches wide for now. Okay, each one of, now, there's different ways that you can do this. I just lined mine all up until they were all the same, and then I just changed, then I picked all of them, whoop, get that out of my way, and these are all 1.5 inches high, so they're going to be about half the size, 1.5. There we go. I'm going to set these over here out of the way. And the balloons themselves are going to be 2 inches high. Sometimes I do width, sometimes I do height. It depends on what we're doing here. Okay, let's go ahead and do our cover. Now, I changed this to white, and we're going to write something on it here in just a minute. But first, let's get our squares done for this. We're going to need 2. So you're going to go down here into Shapes, hit Square. Then it is going to, then you're going to go to Edit. And the blue square is going to be 3 inches. And so we're going to go in here, and I just picked this bright blue right here. It doesn't really matter. Okay, then we are going to duplicate that. Back to edit. We're going to take it to white. And this one is not, it's just going to be slightly smaller. So it's going to be 2.8. It doesn't matter which one you pick because there it's going to stay. Okay, there's that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and group them together so I can show you. And then this goes right in the middle. When that happens, you go to edit, you go to arrange. Okay, and then let me show you. It doesn't matter now because we're going to glue it later, but I get it to where it's right there in the middle. Okay, and I'm going to group it one more time just so I can put it over here. Now, here in a minute, there we go. Okay, we are going to put a text on here. Okay, so you're going to hit text down here, and it's going to open your box. And let's go ahead and type out what we want. We'll change everything here in just a minute. We want make a and capital wish. Okay, then we are going to change this to awesome. You can see I searched for the awesome font and got that. There we go. Here's our ribbon that we're going to put on it. I think I want this 0.6 high. Let's see what that does. There we go. I'm going to bring it up really close so I can make sure I get it right in the middle. There we go, just like that. And then you're going to drag your finger or your mouse and you're going to grab both of those and you're going to hit attach down here. That tells Cricut that you want to write those words on this piece of paper. Okay, and the only other thing that I am going to do, let's go into layers. I am going to hit the pen, edit. And you see this pen with the circle right here? I did mine in blue. Of course, it all depends on, if you don't have pens, you can find the words and cut them out. That's really easy. Okay. So now the only other thing we need to change is the color of the cupcake. So we're going to go into layers since this has many layers. The orange one is the very back one, and I'm going to turn it to the green. Then this is going to stay yellow, which will match everything up here in just a minute. This is going to be the blue, the bright blue. And this one is going to be the red. Now, I am all about the least amount of mats for you to cut out. So that's the reason for that. So there we go. Your cover is done. I'm going to group it together. And I'm going to stick it over here. Okay. And then you've got these two guys. These guys are going to glue on the inside. So they are good to go. Let's get your happy birthday fixed. First, I need to ungroup this, and this says it ungroups it, but it doesn't. Look. Now, I don't know if you've ever done a slice before, but I'm going to show you how real quick. Let's take it off of layers. I want to separate this happy from the birthday, and this is a really easy way to do it. Okay, I want to make this a little bigger and a little longer, just like that. Then I am going to cover either the birthday or the happy. Doesn't matter which one, just like that. Okay. Then you're going to drag your finger over both of those. And right down here in the middle, you'll see a thing called slice. And I'm going to click on that. And what that does is it slices things away. Okay, so I need the green and the green. I do not need these two pieces, so I am going to delete them. There we go. Now, just to keep track, let's go ahead and change these happy birthday colors just because it's going to be easier for me. Okay, let's go into edit. This is the bright blue, and this is the yellow, bright yellow. There we go. Now, we're going to make sure that these are back right in the middle of each other. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. When I made mine, I butted the A in the happy up against the T in the birthday. Now, I'm going to group these together. I'm going to go into layers. Now, this big one is going to be red. There we go. And the gray one, this one, is going to be green. The bright green. And this one is going to be the bright yellow. Now that we've got your colors, I'm going to change the size on this. They're 2 inches wide. There we go. And look, they're going to go right in here. And then let me show you the easy. Now that we've got it exactly how we want, we're going to duplicate it. But we also need it opposite. So you're going to go back into edit. And you see way over here on the right where it says horizontal and vertical. We're going to do a horizontal. And then boom. It matches exactly what you already have. Okay, now I'm going to take the balloons away so we can resize the happy birthday, and then we'll put them back. Now, we've got these two grouped together, and the first thing we need to do is I need to change the size on this. It'll be easier for us later on. So I want the width to be 8, but we're going to unlock that button in between. You see that button in between the two? And I am going to make the height 2.5. There we go. And then I am going to put our balloons where they go, right there, so they keep their shape, sort of. Right there. You see how the green kind of goes along with the Y? Oh. And I just hit the wrong thing, didn't I? Okay. There. Now, I'm going to put this back up to where, now, see how the green is kind of matching? Okay. So, let's get this guy put in here, and then we're going to do an offset. So, if you have never done an offset, here is your chance. There we go. Now, you're going to drag your finger and grab every single one of these. And we are going to group them. Okay. And now we're going to go into edit and do, and hit offset. There you go. Now, 0.25, mine already says 0.25 because that is what I used before. So there we go. So let's double check. We're going to change that to white. And let's double check our sizes. You've got a 3-inch height, which is perfect. But now I want to make it just a little tiny bit longer, the whole thing. So I'm going to make this into 10. Oh, no wonder it didn't do it right. I didn't catch everything. First, you got to group it. Okay, now what size is this? Okay, see, that's the reason that it was a funky 10. There you go. Your whole thing should be 10 by 3. Okay, we need to do one more thing with this. We're going to go to Actions. We're going to go to Ungroup. We need the white piece from the back right here. And what we need to do is put some score lines in. So let's move this out of our way. The easiest way is for us to bring it way up here. The first one is going to be the easiest because it's right in the middle. We've got it at 10 inches. So you're going to go into Shapes and pick this line right here. And as you can see, it's already a score line because it's a dotted line. So we don't have to change that. And we needed to go right up here in the 5 inches. Now you can watch and you see, boom, you can see where the purple line tells you you're right in half. You're right in the half. So then you're going to drag your finger or your mouse and then attach just like we did before. Now we're going to do that again, actually two more times, but for now this will work. You're going to make this a lot bigger, and then you're going to put one right there at 2.5. Okay, because we're going to split this into 4 equal parts. Then if the line being too long bugs you, you can go in here and change it to, let's see, 2.75. That works. Okay. Then before we attach that one, we're going to go back to Actions and Duplicate. And then we're going to take this one and put it over here at 7.5. Okay, you see it right there? Just like that. And again, if you want to change the size, if that bugs you, you can. There we go. Okay, now we've got all 4 of our panels, so we're going to drag our finger over there or our mouse and hit attach. And now you've got all your score lines in there. I'm going to go ahead and put this back and group it again, and that way. Now, the reason that we are not putting score lines on anything else will make sense once we get over to the craft table. Okay, now the only other thing we have left is your candles. I'm going to move them over here so we can see them better. First, we're going to change the colors, and none of these matter, you know, which are which. It just depends on what you like. Let's see. This one I think I did yellow. Oops, you got to do it over here. Because the bright yellow. This one I think I did red. As long as you get your same 4 colors, you're good. And then this one is just going to be the other green. Now, once I got to the craft table, I didn't like the green on green candles, so I turned mine to white to match everything else, but that's totally a personal preference. Capture all of them, duplicate twice. There you go. Look at that. You are ready. Now, let's go into sync. The only other thing, before we go into sync, the only other thing is I changed all the flames on these candles into the bright yellow instead. Okay, so let's go into sync. Check our colors. We've got the bright blue, green, red. There's that orange. Uh-oh. We need to change the cupcake yellow and put it down in with the other yellows. And I ended up, all of these flames, I ended up putting them in the same as the yellow. And then that way I didn't have to, I only had to do the 5 colors, white and the 4 primary colors. But that's totally up to you. That the only thing I need you to go ahead and put together is the cupcake. Can you go ahead and glue that together for me? And we'll be ready when we get over to the craft table. I'll meet you over there. Okay, guys, welcome to my craft table. As you can see, it is well loved. Some tips and tricks. I put everything onto paper plates, keep it all separate, and that way I kind of, you know, stay a little organized. The glue I use, art glitter glue. I get it with the refill, the smaller one, this little bitty tip. A little bit goes a very long way. I asked you to go ahead and do the cupcake. So let's go ahead and do the front first. First, you've got your blue square. We are going to put the white square on top, so we have a little bit of a frame showing. There we go. And it's going to be about, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch maybe. It's going to be little. Just make it so it's even all the way around. It's not a big deal. And then I've got my cupcake, but you know what? I didn't get my little yellow flame on there. I'll have to do that. That's all I'm missing. Okay, and I want to put this right in the middle. Of course, if you want to put yours in the corner, it's your card. You get to do it however you like. So yours will be just like this, only have a little yellow flame on the top. Okay, now here's another choice. You can put this right in the middle and then overlap your sentiment like this. Or you can put it way down here at the bottom, about 1/4 inch up. You can stack it on top. You can make it separate. I like it separate. It just depends on what you want to do. It's your card. So I am going to go ahead and glue this on here. I am still going to keep it about 1/4 of an inch around the 3 different sides. There we go. And this is going to butt up right against the side. So, since the inside is so busy, I tend to make the outsides of the cards a little simpler. Plus, I really like the simple graphics. Okay, there you go. We're not going to glue it on yet. Because if we mess up the inside, we'd have to make this whole thing over again. So I always glue this last. Okay. So now let's work on the inside of our card. I know this is going to look Christmassy here for just a minute until we get, okay, just fold this. Both of these go in here and they're going to be 1/4 inch all the way around from the fold. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these. My younger son, my older son just bought a house and moved out. He came home during COVID to help us with, plus the businesses he manages, of course, were closed, and they came home to help us with his brother, and which was great. And then he just bought a house and moved out. So now it's just us 3. And he works at our local movie theater. It's a small chain of movie theaters. And he tears the tickets there. And he loves it. Okay. So while that is drying, let's go here. I'm going to go ahead and bend our scores. You're going to bend down in the front, in the middle, up on either side here. Now, let's go ahead and make the mechanism first. Okay. You've got X folds and you've got one along here. Let's do the long one first. You're going to just fold this towards you in half, just like that. Okay. Then we are going to do both of these diagonal folds. We're just going to, you know what? It's easier for me to come towards myself. I put my fingernails in the score line, and that seems to help. Speaking of fingernails, this popped off just before I came to make this video. So normally I would not have a missing fingernail polish, but well, you know how that goes. Okay, now we're doing the other X. Okay, we go. And I am going to fold this one back down away from me. There we go. Do you see how we have the two triangles and then these sides are bending in? That's exactly what we want. Okay, and we are going to bend these sides in towards the middle, just like this. It's going to end up looking like a house or a tent or, you know, something like that. Okay, let's make sure I've got this side done well. Okay, good. There we go. Now, this is going to glue right in here. Okay, that's why I made it to match the background. I want this on the front. Okay, to match this background so it will disappear. You're going to find where your middle is, here and here. You want this in the middle. And then this is going to go right up against the fold. So first, we're going to glue this triangle, the bottom, the underneath triangle. Okay, and this is your mechanism that's going to make it pop up. So you want to make sure you get lots of good glue on there because we want a really good seal. Now, the next thing you have to worry about is making sure that your card, okay, first let me get this lined up. I can't see well because I have to sit so far back so I don't get my head in your video. Okay, and then your second thing after you get this in the middle is you want to make sure that it folds good and flat still. See, just like that. Okay. Okay, now we're going to glue this triangle. This one's a lot easier. Okay. So you're just going to put the glue on this other triangle, same as we just did on the other side. And make sure you get all the way to the edges. And let's make sure we get lots of glue on here. There we go. Because again, this is your mechanism that's going to hold your pop-up. Now, the easy part is you only have to fold it. Okay. Put a little pressure on there. And there you go. Just like that. See? Now, let's do our insert here. Make sure that you have it right side up. I went ahead and pre-folded it. Okay, up in the middle, down on either side. And you want to make sure that your birthday part is at the bottom. I almost put it together upside down. I mean, on the wrong side. Okay, because first we got to do our balloons. So I want to kind of show you what this is. I mangled this one. This one goes right here. And then the red goes right here. Just like that. Okay. So let's go ahead. Once I glue this guy down, he won't look mangled anymore. Okay. This guy is going to go pretty close to the end. I'm going to turn him just a little bit. Do you see how that's all even there? And again, it's not that big of a deal. Whoever you give it to is not going to notice that your balloons are... I have had to let go of my perfectionism doing these. Okay, let's get the yellow in here. Okay, and it's going to go... Actually, I'm just going to kind of stick it a little bit above just because I want to. And then this one is probably because I want a little bit more to show. If we do it exactly how we had it on the canvas, it's not, all the balloons aren't going to show. It's not going to be fun. Okay. Now, here is this one. Let's do it on this side, and we're pretty much going to do just the opposite. No, I liked it better that way. There we go. Then the yellow. Easy, easy. And again, I'm probably going to overlap this just a little bit just because I want to see more of the balloons. See? Because if we put it way down below, most of it's going to get hidden by the birthday part. So that's the reason I've kind of smushed these up a little closer to each other. Just like that. There we go. Now, the hardest one for us to do is going to be the birthday. You see how I have this score? You didn't have to pre-score it. I just did it so it'd be easier to show you. You want to do this and this score together. Okay. Now, we are going to glue on either side of this H. Okay, on either side of this score mark. Because once we bend it, it's got to be able to give. So I'm going to get it exactly where I want it. Pretty close to the bottom. Make sure that my folds are still matching up. Make sure my birthday is straight, and it is. Now I've got glue on either side of this fold, and then I want to make it fold. Okay, because I need it to fit good and I need it to be able to fold. So now we're at this part and we are going to stop our glue right here by the R and not get any on the I, because again, you've got another bend. Okay, so we're going to do the R and then there we go. Okay, and now we are going to do the B and the I, and then we're going to fold it before it gets dry while it's still wet, and we make sure that it's going to fold okay, because if it doesn't fold, your card's not going to work. Okay, so let's get this glued down. And then you immediately fold this. And I usually put my fingernails in there. And you can see where I almost did it wrong side out. So if you make a mistake, you can always turn it. There we go, just like that. Then once you get your folds started, then you need to just leave it open and let it dry a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to go do this side. And you can see here the score line is going to go right through your A. So let's do half of your A, your D, and the rest of your H. Okay. Then we're going to do the rest of our glue. Get it laid down. And then bend it. Okay. And like I said, I usually put my fingernail in there to make sure. There we go. And I did not get any glue on this little bitty piece of the A. And I want to make sure that I get a good spot on that. Now, you are going to have some wet glue, and we want to make sure that it is good and dry before you put it in your card or in your envelope. So I always suggest to leave this out. Okay, there you go, just like that. You see how that works? Okay, and then your choice, you can put it farther up, you can put it farther down. I kind of butted mine up against the T, but that's a personal choice. So let's do this first fold. Again, we're going to do a little bit of glue on either side, just like that. And then we're going to make sure our A and our H are in the right spot. Our score lines are matched up. We are straight with the happy. And then we're going to go in and make sure that it folds. Okay. And then this one is just going to be just through this little piece of Y. So let's go ahead and glue the rest of this down. If you pick another one of these cards from me, it's going to be, I promise, it's going to be a lot simpler. But this one looks so cool. Okay, and then put your fingernail there and let's bend it. There we go. And this one is going to go through your H, so it's going to be a little harder. Let's glue all the way to this. Just do not glue that yet. So let's go ahead and get the happy glued in. You are doing such a great job. Okay, let's get it where it goes. And then we're going to do this whole other part of the H. And I did get a little bit of glue on there, but I want to make sure I get some good on there. Okay, just like that. You're going to put it down where it goes. And then we're going to fold it. Let's make sure that we get it to fold exactly how we want it. There we go. You're going to have to leave this open and let a bunch of your glue dry. Look at that. Look at that. Now, once it's in the card, it's only going to pop up to right here. So you're good to go. You're going to put this as flat as you can. You're going to put this as flat as you can. It's not going to go flat perfectly. Okay, you want to make sure that you are right in the middle where this is, okay? So you are going to put yourself right in the middle of that triangle. There you go. And I'm going to have this butt right up against the green right there, okay? And then you're going to bend this down, okay? And we're only going to glue right here. Make sure you don't go too high where your white doesn't get covered. Okay, let me make sure I'm still in the middle. There we go, just like that. Okay, now we're going to do the other side. I need to come this way so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, now we are going to glue, but we're going to glue this bottom square right here. So the best thing is to turn it where you can see where your thing is going to end. So you're not putting any glue out there. Oh, and I probably put too much on all the way to the end. It doesn't matter. As long as you got glue on there, you're good to go. There you go, just like that. Are you ready? Let's see. Uh-oh. Yeah, you got to wait. I didn't want to wait for it to dry good. So while we're waiting, let me show you. This is a personal choice. And what I would do if it was me, and which is what I'm going to do, I'm going to go right here to the edge of the red. You see that? And then I'm going to just cut diagonally up there, just like that. See? Okay. And then the same thing, only you're not going to be able to do it as much because you've got that glue. So what I'm going to do is, look, I cut around that B. And then I'll do the same thing. I'll go right here to the red and then just go up diagonally. There you go. And now it matches, see? Okay, and then let's make sure I've got it folding correctly. Okay, now once you get these going, you have to practice with them a little bit. Okay, because the paper has to get used to folding. Okay, that's why I'm going to smush it down really good. There you go. Look at that. Look. So once I get the cover and all the other stuff on it, and this is what I would suggest you do, I'm just going to sit here and open and close it a bunch. See? See, the more I do it, the easier it gets. Okay, so it's used to what it's doing. There we go. Now, we only have a couple things left to do. We need to go ahead and do our line of candles. And this is totally your choice on how you want to do this. Oh, I didn't plan this exact just because. Now, remember, you've got flames that need to come up here. So what we're going to do is if you would rather them all be straight like soldiers, but I kind of like mine kind of tumbling a little bit. Let me do the last white one right there. And again, but I'm going to have to pull them down some just because I got flames, remember? Again, this is kind of a personal choice thing on, of course, you can do them straight. It's totally your choice. But what I'm going to have to do is pull these down because I've got to have enough room for their flames. And these don't need much glue. Just a couple little pieces underneath. I'm just doing it so they will stay where I had them. And then I'll go back and, and again, like I said, it's not a big deal. These are not, doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be exact. Okay. So this one is going to go a little bit like this. There we go. Let me get my yellow one back down where I had it. I will do a few straight. And normally I would have, there, see, look, just like that. And then I'll go back, I'm going to pull this one back just a little bit. I'll go back and put all of the tops on there here in just a second. Let me show you this. There's no reason for me to go ahead. I am going to put the red right in the middle since the edges are red. There we go. Solid yellow. It doesn't matter whichever ones that you've got that you didn't put up on the top. It doesn't have to be exact. And nobody will, whoever you give it to, none of them will know, have any idea that, oh, that's not how it was supposed to be made. It's different. Hey, guess what? You don't all have to be alike. That's what's nice. I'm going to double check and make sure. See, it's still folding. Look at that. Now, you don't need to watch me put all the flames on, so I'm not going to do that. You can do it yourself. And then we've got our cover. So let's make sure we're closing good. And we are. So all we need to do is put this on the front. Now, you thought it was going to be hard, and look, it ended up easy. Okay, and again, this one is going to go about 1/4 inch all the way around. I have a hard time seeing. Sorry about that. I need to be able to see it. And try not to get your my head in your video. So there you go. Look at that. Look what you did. There's your cover, and you open it up, and look at that. You did a great job. I am really proud of you.